Pick it up.
363 from Sierra Oscar,
Do me a favour.
Pick it up now and put it in the bin, all right? 363 receiving, Sergeant. You want to
Looks
get
like we've
booked?
got a couple of missing kids, Steve. Callers are Mrs. Fielder, 44 Bridge Walk. 2 9-year-olds called Jason and Mark. Can you deal?
Right, Sarge.
They've only been gone an hour, but she's a bit jumpy. Probably a hold hand job.
On my way. In the bin. I'm not telling you again. Sierra Oscar from 363. We got an RTA.
Are you all right?
I didn't stand a chance. She came straight at me.
I was stopping to let him cross.
No way, no way.
All right,
My
mate.
truck would have stopped. I'll be in the office for another couple of hours. Chief Super's left me a load of paperwork.
Been dropped in it, son?
Yeah, it's for a meeting that area tomorrow. I tell you, I wouldn't mind if he hadn't kept dropping hints on why he couldn't do it himself.
What are you going to tell me or let me start the rumour?
He's meeting some top brass from a county force. Gave me a phone number, nice little restaurant by the river. Not exactly social, Derek, more business.
Well, when you're mixing it with a hoi polloi, I don't suppose there's much difference.
I wouldn't know, mate. The nearest I get to glamour is quiz night at the Queen's Head.
You're looking good, Charles. Is that worry or exercise?
Both, John, both. I haven't been here before.
Didn't think you would have. That's why I suggested it.
You put your hand up, you walk out into the road. Didn't they teach you anything at Hendon?
They haven't got boots big enough to put you on the beat, have they? Look, anyway, it's all under control. You got superficial injuries to the bloke. It's more shock than anything. The woman will admit to driving too fast. Step-toe behind's got an invalid disc and is dangerous loads now an unmarked hazard to traffic. All right? I just got a call to another job, mate.
I'm a good police officer, Charles. You don't become one without making a few enemies along the way. But you're a friend. I wasn't expecting you to stick the knife in. I'm being accused of all sorts of things. Corruption, fit-ups, unprofessional conduct. Works.
Look, I had a call from DCC Fuller. The officer investigating Peter Mowbray.
Oh, I know who he is. Not that I've ever met him, you understand. I mean, the man may have decided he wants to cut me off at the knees, but so far he hasn't deigned to introduce himself.
Well, he's just doing his job. You know how these things are. He didn't want the job any more than the rest of us. I mean, who would want a job like that?
It's inept. We serve under British law, yet we can be found guilty before the trial.
Look, John, the last thing I want is for this to come between us. Fuller rang me up out of the blue and arranged an appointment. I was totally unprepared. All I had was some vague memories of a murder investigation that got put to bed 17 years ago.
And some private suspicions about me.
That's not true, and you know it.
Must have been some reason why you never answered any of my calls.
No, not at all. You weren't the subject of Fuller's investigation.
But now I am.
Excuse me, Mr. Fielder.
No, mate, I'm his business partner.
We've had a phone call about a couple of missing children.
Yeah, his boy and mine. I've just been out now taking a look.
No, look then.
Well, does it look like it? No, I don't know the area that well. We haven't been here long.
And your name is?
Payne. Derek Payne.
You took your time. What do you lot get paid for?
Got here as quick as I could, madam. Let's go inside, shall we? Been having a party?
Hardly.
Well, with a bit of work thrown in, we're setting up in business, you see, Simon and me. Thought we'd make it social, get the wife and Jason over.
Go on, Sharon. Go and find Ethan. Simon!
I'll go and find him, so.
So, your boy's gone missing.
Yeah, Hannes.
What's your child's name, Mrs. Fielder?
Mark. Yeah. He had his black and yellow football scarf on, grey trousers, that's school trousers, a blue anorak and black trainer shoes. What you been doing?
Just been seeing to Julia. That's Derek's wife. She's not taking this too well.
You're Mr. Fielder, I take it.
Yeah, that's right. Just the one of you, is it?
We'll have the entire Met out looking for him if necessary. I expect they'll turn up, though. They usually do. Your friend's child, what's his name again?
Jason.
And do you remember what he had on?
Oh, nothing special. Jeans and a jean shirt. Oh, and a green jacket. You'd need a second mortgage to buy it, though.
I'll leave it so.
Yeah, well, she made that pretty obvious, the boss's wife.
Yes, well, I'll talk to Mr. Payne about a description of Jason. What time do they go out, sir?
They were sent out to get some stuff about just down the corner shop.
And when was that exactly?
About
2:30.
I was told they'd only been gone an hour.
Yeah, but it might have been closer to an hour if you'd have been here on time, mightn't it?
We'll have the set menu for 2. You can trust me that far, Charles.
I wouldn't be here, John, if I didn't want to sort things out.
Go on.
Well, you know the facts. You and Peter Mowbray put 2 brothers down for life. But the statements signed by one of the brothers have been altered to make their guilt crystal clear. Now, Fuller's got the date of that alteration down to 1 day in May 1974. He assumes it was Mowbray. He came to me for proof.
So what's the problem? If he wants the late Mowbray, why can't he take him? Why does he want my head on the block?
Because I know that on May the 11th, 1974, Peter Mowbray was with me. And you were alone in the office.
And that's what you call a vague memory.
I remember because it was the night of a party. It was my engagement party in Suffolk. You couldn't make it.
You've told all this to Fuller?
I didn't have much choice.
Names Jason Payne and Mark Fielder.
Sent out to the corner shop a few hundred yards away and didn't come back.
What time did they report it?
Now, Kathy Marshall logged the call at 6:30. I'm on my way there now.
Hold on.
It took the parents 4 hours to report them missing.
Yeah, and us up to 40 minutes to respond. It's 9-year-old kids here, Andrew.
The officer called to the scene was delayed by an RTA. If we're misinformed of the situation in the first place, we can't be blamed for not giving it priority.
Who's the officer?
Loxton, sir.
CID been informed?
Yes, sir, and we've got a description of the boys.
But that's it. Come on, Andrew. We hear about a possible child abduction at 6:30, and I don't hear about it till 7:50.
There is no evidence to suggest an abduction, sir.
Well, I hope you're right, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thanks. I know that Fuller doesn't want this thing to go public yet.
What are you suggesting?
Look, John, I'm trying to help you find a way out of this.
So he sent you to bargain with me, did he? Do a deal?
No. No, Fuller doesn't know anything about this meeting.
Well, what did you have in mind? I retire from the force on health grounds? Spend more time with my family?
Something like that, yes.
I don't believe I'm hearing this.
Look, I saw that statement. It put 2 innocent men away for life. They're still in prison, John.
You really think that was me?
Or can you prove to me that it wasn't? Or more important, can you prove it to a disciplinary hearing or even a court?
Why the hell should I have to prove it to you? I thought we trusted each other.
Yes, so did I.
Well, I didn't do it, Charles. And on the night you refer to, I wasn't alone in the office. I was with Peter's wife.
Amanda?
Yes. You see, my memory is every bit as good as yours. Better, maybe. I was seeing her, Charles. Or seeing to her, if you want it in the vernacular.
You were having an affair with Peter Mowbray's wife.
So now you see why, for personal reasons, I might not want to go public.
I've tried at the other shop near a bridge walk. Well, he hasn't seen him today.
Yes, he would say that.
Why?
Everybody knows what these boys are sent out to do. We try to tell them, but...
What exactly was he asking for, sir?
Look, I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want it to seem like I'm telling tales.
That's all right, sir. Don't worry.
A bottle of whiskey, one of gin, about 40 cigarettes.
Cash? Thank you, sir.
I don't want to make a statement, all right? Please, I don't want to make a statement.
I'll bear that in mind, sir. Sierra Oscar from 363 receiving.
Receiving, Steve.
We've had a sighting, Sarge. Water Lane.
Right.
Yeah, and according to the shopkeeper here...
There must have been upwards of 20 quid between them.
Thanks, Steve.
Great.
Sir, it's not likely to be an abduction, is it? I mean, there were 2 of them.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, perhaps not, but the probability is that...
Look, I'm aware of what it could be. It could be that tomorrow morning we end up discovering a couple of corpses.
Yes, sir.
And it was you who sent Jason and Mark to the shops, was it, sir?
Yeah, all right, it was me. Look, I'm sorry about the booze, OK? Won't happen again.
Well, we won't worry about that for the moment.
Why don't you just pull your finger out and find our kids?
Sierra Oscar 1 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Sir, I've got Chief Inspector
We're doing
Conway to
everything we
speak to you.
can, sir. If you can try and think of somewhere they might have gone. Friends, relatives.
If I could, do you think I'll be sitting here?
As soon as you finish at the house, I'll have the area thoroughly searched.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Maitland's at the Common now with a dozen uniform. I'll be across myself in 5 minutes.
Look, you got their photographs. You know what they look like.
What time did you start drinking this afternoon, sir?
Look, I've had a few drinks. There's no law against it, is there?
Si, come on.
You stay out of it, right? You stay right out of it.
We don't want any trouble, do we? No upsets.
Is that why you said nothing about where the kids had been sent?
Now, look,
Or why you left it 4 hours before ringing us because you didn't want any trouble? What about your kids?
June.
You must be feeling a bit sick, eh, Steve? What for? Well, a kid goes missing, you jump, don't you? I got involved in an RTA, right? And I was on my way there. Yeah, I heard she was a bit tasty. Get her phone number. Look, just leave it out, Dave, will you? All right, Steve, all right. I'll wind up, yeah? Yeah, you two. Just get on with it. Here! Over here!
Good, OK, thanks.
Have they found something?
I'll just come inside.
You moved here when, Mr. Payne?
What's that got to do with it?
Look, it's just for our records. Well, what was your address in Colchester?
316 Sudbury Road, EX26. We moved here, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Do you want his old phone number as well?
Mr. Fielder, it would help us if you'd cooperate.
Oh, I am doing that, believe me.
Now, your son's scarf has been found. It's nothing to be agitated about. It's more than likely it was just dropped.
What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Say nothing, do nothing, as usual. Look, it's his fault. You know that. We all know that.
Mrs. Fielder.
Look, Mark would never do anything like this. Never. Till Derek and Lady Muck showed up.
You're getting out of order, Sally!
I know about you and Jason. I know all about it. You think she hasn't told me?
I never said anything.
Call my kids what you like, but we never had the social workers round. Mark's never been on no register.
Shut it! Sierra Oscar from 643. Urgent assistance required. Repeat, urgent assistance required.
Now! All of you! I think we'd better sort this out at the station. Better if we wait there.
Why did you think it was me, Charles?
There didn't seem any other explanation. Everything seemed to fit. Your attitude to Mowbray, for instance.
What attitude?
Emulating him.
That's your prejudice.
Is it?
You were never cut out for CRD.
Well, I've never denied that.
You never adapted.
Or maybe I was too honest. Tell me, why did you row with Mowbray when he came back from Suffolk? I mean, what was it about? If you were so good at stringing him along, why did you have a fight?
He found my watch on his bedside table. You want me to prove it? Check it out with Amanda. Go on, ask me where the birthmarks are. I'll give them to you chapter and verse.
Right.
You wanted the details, not me. Look, I hated Mowbray, maybe even more than you did. I knew what his wife had to put up with.
Never mind anybody else's.
Leave my marriage off the agenda, Charles. I am innocent of any charge of corruption.
Nothing more? Not that I could see, Sarge. Conditions out here aren't exactly ideal, though, are they?
Yeah, we'll be able to get a closer look tomorrow.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to. Hollis, Quinnan, the old hospital.
I know we've checked it a couple of times already, but check it once again, just in case, all right? Come on, Steve. Probably just got bored and gone down the flicks.
Yeah.
The high street. Check the fast food restaurants again.
Thanks.
All right?
Sierra Oscar from 6-3, receiving.
Sierra Oscar receiving, Sarge.
Yeah, George, I'm wrapping up the search of the recreation ground. No more sign of the boys.
Thanks, Sarge.
We could use a few more troops out here, if you could tell the Chief Inspector. This one looks like it's going to run and run.
Message received, Sarge. OK, sir.
Got it. Get Chief Superintendent Brownlow on the phone, will he? He's on that number.
Sir.
So, who did it? I still need to know.
Fuller was right first time. Mowbray.
You sure?
Sure as I can be. He was coming unstuck, losing his grip. Things were falling apart in his marriage. He wasn't going anywhere inside the job, or so he thought.
Until he sent the Wilson brothers down.
Worded like that as a headline grabber. Does a man's career or power of good.
Fuller thought it was overconfidence.
No, not then. I stood up to him in that row we had, faced him out. So did Amanda. Suppose he had to take it out on somebody. So he fitted up the Wilson brothers.
You make it sound like a fit of pique.
Yeah. Not very fair, but then that was his style, wasn't it?
As bad as that.
Worse. You didn't know Pete like I did. You were right to get back into uniform. They really were the bad old days of CID.
Well, you did all right.
I was never one of them.
Just a survivor.
It's a question of keeping your head down. You know that.
Telephone call, sir.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me.
I taught him his Green Cross code. Not to talk to strangers. Well, he's even got his cycling proficiency test.
He was sent out for alcohol and tobacco.
Yeah, well, I don't even smoke.
I wondered when he was going to start that one up again.
Who exactly sent the boys to the shops, Mr. Fielder?
I said I'd go. Well, Dell said let them because we had business to sort out. Well, he is my boss and I am out of work. I got chucked from Carter's 2 years ago. I lost my licence. Well, Dell offered me this chance and I didn't think it'd matter just this once.
He could be dead.
And where were you? You was out of it. You and Julia. You couldn't even walk across the room, let alone across the street.
All right. Don't start again.
I just want my boy back.
It's a pity this job had to come with batteries included, Dave. I think I'm fading. I should be so lucky. Eh?
How long was Jason on the at-risk register, Mr. Payne?
He wasn't at risk.
How long was he on the register?
He fell down the stairs when he was 2. He broke his arm, right? There should have been a gate at the top, but there wasn't.
So, he was on the register from 1984?
They was accidents. They can happen to anyone. He doesn't watch what he's doing. He walks into things, burns himself.
A child isn't considered at risk for nothing, Mrs. Payne. Oh, we can check all this for ourselves.
I'm not saying he's not difficult. He's naughty.
And you punish him, do you?
Are you telling me I can't? Hey, Reg, look, there's nothing round here. Let's give it a rest, eh? Dave, in here. Jason, Mark.
How'd you fancy only riding the police car, huh?
Do us a favour. Mark. It's the filth.
Whether we got to you late or not is beside the point.
Oh, yeah, well, it suits you to say that, doesn't it?
You do realise that you and your husband could be charged with willful neglect of your child?
Oh, come off it.
If the court decides you're not fit enough to bring up Jason decently, it could make out a care order. Now, you understand what that means, don't you? It means that Jason could be put into a home.
You should listen to yourself. You really should.
It's the law, Mr. Payne.
They went for a walk. What, have you got any kids?
Do you want to drag this through the courts?
You're blaming us because our boy decides to steal my money.
You should look after your child.
Oh, you smug self-righteous...
Right, get to it! Right, hold him! And lock him up.
Right, Sarge.
Best place for him, don't you think?
John, how did you come to be so well prepared for this meeting?
Well, you know how the old grapevine works. You get the rumours a couple of months in advance. You start retracing the steps.
So you just pieced it all together?
I had little choice. I don't remember the birthmarks that well. Stretched my powers of recall somewhat.
But if you always thought that Mowbray was banked, when did you work it out?
How do you mean?
Well, you remember the woman. You remember the reasons for the row, down to the last details of where you left your watch. You even know why he fitted those men up.
I used my powers of deduction. There's a strong suspicion, nothing more.
I mean, if it's obvious to you now, it must have been obvious to you then.
Come on.
You knew, didn't you? You knew at the time and you never said a word.
Well, Charles.
Didn't you?
Look, I was a DC. We both were. Who was going to listen to me with someone like Peter Mowbray on my back? He would have had me for breakfast. I wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes. A corruption allegation in those days? Come on.
So what were you thinking of? Your career prospects?
It was 1974. People like Peter Mowbray were getting away with murder.
Yes, and the Wilson brothers were being sent down for it. 17 years in prison.
Yeah. All right. I will say whatever I have to get those men released.
But you'll wait till the call comes, will you?
Well, they only want the name of the man who did it, not anyone who might have suspected.
I shouldn't worry, John. You're fireproof. They'll throw Mowbray's reputation to the dogs, and why not? He's dead, isn't he? You'll be all right. I'll see you, John.
Yeah. Stay in touch, Charles.
You coming for a drink, June?
No, thanks. I've seen enough booze for one day.
Okay. You know, Monroe wants to see me tomorrow, before the shift. He wants to go through my pocketbook, see why I was held up.
But you're on another job.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks like the pains are going to be done for negligence.
Yeah?
Yeah, it turns out Fielder was covering up for him. Payne's boy was on the at-risk register in Essex up until the beginning of last year.
Some friendship, eh?
Yeah. Well, if one of them gets abused now, it'll be in a children's home.
You certainly do know how to look on the bright side, don't you?
Oh, he'll be all right. Thank you very much.
Hello, boys. Just back from your travels. Everything all right?
Yeah, well, it is now, yeah. Which one will use Jason then, eh?
I'm.
Yeah? Well, don't worry. These two will see you right if you want anything.
I want my mum and dad.
I think I will have that drink after all.
Yeah.